three items that stood out in the budget. Number one, the education budget was up 24%. That's a big number. Healthcare budget is up 5%, but infrastructure is down 5%, like what you pointed out just now. So I think the next government in 2025 will continue some of the key strategic infrastructure projects. For example, extending the MRT line. At the moment, it's about 20 kilometers in the CBD. That is going to be extended. I think there's going to be some extension of the LRT line as well. But some of the big key strategic projects, it's already been completed in the past 10 years under Jokowi administration. So probably it's just more of continuing the key strategic project rather than creating a new one. What interests me the most is actually the education budget, because the free lunch program is parked under the education budget. That's why the increase is the biggest among all, 24% year on year.
Right.
Because they're going to start the free lunch program in the school, especially in the rural area, because they want to provide better nutrition food for the students in the school.
Right. So when you look at this, at the budget at the moment, how does this play into the market sentiment? Now, we do the Jakarta Composite is now at an all-time high, and they have this very good problem of now, can we surpass 7,700? What are your thoughts on how this will play into the market outlook, and what sectors are there to watch out for?
Yes. So we actually is overweight on Indonesia equity market. Beginning of this year, we set an index target of 7,500. Now we have surpassed it. It has been surpassed. Our bull case target is 7,800. So that might be reached soon. What we like about Indonesia in the near term is because it is one of the biggest beneficiary of the upcoming Fed rate hike. Our U.S. economic team expect up to 125 bips of rate cut between September to December for the U.S. And for Central Bank in Indonesia, Bank Indonesia, we're expecting about 50 bips cut in the next 3 to 4 months. So Indonesia should get fund flow coming in from DM to EM, and I think Indonesia in Asia is going to be one of the key beneficiary of this portfolio flow. And as you know, if you look at the Jakarta Composite Index, one of the biggest sector driver is the banking sector. And we think that the banks will get a portfolio flow coming in, and that should basically help boost their multiple.
What about some of the new growth sectors? So as we know, the last couple of years, there's been a lot of buzz about EVs, for instance, and investments and leveraging Indonesia's position as the biggest nickel producer in the world. But we've seen this oversupply, cooling sentiment, perhaps a bit of a turnaround on sentiment on EVs. Do you think that the cooling of sentiment on EVs and the oversupply is feeding into Indonesia negatively as well, and some of these growth sectors that have been touted over the last 2 to 3 years?
Yes. So EV is a big topic in Indonesia. We managed to grow the EV ecosystem from scratch since 2020 all the way to now in 2024. We started by building smelters for the raw nickel.
Right.
We make the processed metal, which is one of the key ingredient to make the battery.
Yes.
And then the first battery plant was just, I think, inaugurated not long ago. And then we already have a few, I think 3 big EV plants in Indonesia right now. Hyundai and Wuling were one of the first one that came in. BYD just came in beginning of this year, and they're going to build a big plant. Now, you're right, there is a bit of an oversupply issue that's happening globally, but in Indonesia, we haven't seen that yet. At the moment, I think the EV penetration is still very low. It grew from 1% to 5% in the past 2 years.